Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Before we jump into this wild story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and keeps us going strong. Now let's talk about one of the most shocking, most talked about, and absolutely unbelievable boxing events that's about to go down. Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis in an exhibition fight on November 14, 2025, live from the Kaseya Center in Miami. Yes, you heard that right. Jake Paul, the YouTube star turned prizefighter, stepping into the ring with one of the most destructive, most feared knockout artists in modern boxing history. This fight has the entire sports world buzzing. Some people are calling it a circus, some are calling it genius, and others are saying it could be the craziest crossover fight since Mayweather fought MC Gregor. So today, we are breaking it all down, the story behind this matchup, why it matters, and how boxing legends, guys like Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya, and others are reacting to this bombshell event. So grab a seat, because this is going to be a ride. Let's start with the basics. Jake Paul. Love him or hate him, you cannot deny that this guy has completely shaken up the world of boxing. He started off as a social media influencer, the loud YouTube kid making vlogs, doing stunts, and causing chaos online. Nobody took him seriously when he first laced up the gloves. People laughed. They said it was a joke. But fast forward to now, and Jake Paul is headlining major arenas, selling pay-per-views, and actually building a respectable record. He's fought former UFC stars, he's taken on pro boxers, and little by little, he's gained credibility. But here's the twist. Jake Paul isn't stepping in with another ex-MMA fighter. He's not stepping in with a faded veteran. He's going up against Gervonta "Tank" Davis, one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. A man who has knocked out 27 of his 29 opponents. A man who has drawn comparisons to Mike Tyson because of his raw power, explosive speed, and killer instinct. Tank is not just a star, he's a champion, a proven monster inside the ropes. Now, of course, this fight is billed as an exhibition. That means it's not officially going on their records, and there might be special rules. But don't be fooled. An exhibition with Tank Davis is no walk in the park. This is still Tank stepping into the ring. This is still his fists, his speed, his timing. And Jake Paul is willingly signing up to face him in front of the entire world. So why is this happening? Well, let's be real. Part of it is money. This is going to be one of the biggest spectacles of the year. Netflix has secured the streaming rights, making it accessible to a global audience. We're talking millions of viewers tuning in not just for boxing fans, but casuals, influencers, and even people who don't normally watch sports. The crossover appeal is insane. Jake Paul brings the entertainment world, Tank brings the hardcore fight fans, and together they create a perfect storm. But beyond the money, there's also legacy, at least for Jake. He wants to prove he can stand in there with the elite. He knows that facing Tank Davis, even in an exhibition, will make headlines that no one can ignore. For Tank, this is a chance to expand his audience, grab some extra cash, and show the world that no matter who steps in with him, whether it's a YouTuber or a champion, he's still the most dangerous man in the ring. Now, let's shift gears and talk about what boxing legends are saying, because the reactions to this fight have been nothing short of explosive. First up, Mike Tyson, the man who knows a thing or two about being a knockout machine. Tyson has been surprisingly supportive of Jake Paul over the years. He said many times that Jake brings new eyeballs to the sport and that boxing needs that energy. When asked about Jake versus Tank, Tyson said something along the lines of, "This is dangerous, man. Tank is no joke. Jake better be ready, because once Tank hits you, it's over. But I respect Jake for having the balls to do it. Most guys wouldn't." Then there's Floyd Mayweather. Now, Floyd has a unique connection here because he's been both an opponent and a mentor figure to Tank Davis. Floyd discovered Tank, promoted him, and guided him through much of his career. At the same time, Floyd himself fought a massive crossover exhibition with Conor MC Gregor, so he understands the business side of these fights. Floyd's reaction was classic Money Mayweather. He said, "It's entertainment. It's a show." Jake Paul is smart. He knows how to sell fights. Tank Davis is my guy, though. Jake better protect himself at all times. Translation? Floyd respects the hustle, but he's betting on his protege to demolish Jake, even if it's just an exhibition. Manny Pacquiao was also asked about it, and Manny gave the most humble, straightforward answer you'd expect from him. He said, "Boxing is a dangerous sport. You can't play with it. But if it helps bring more people to watch boxing, maybe it is okay." Tank is very strong, very fast, too much for Jake Paul. But let's see what happens. In other words, Pacquiao sees the upside in exposure but thinks Jake is way out of his depth. Then you have Oscar De La Hoya, who has never been shy about sharing his opinions on Jake Paul. Oscar actually respects Jake for bringing a new audience to boxing, but when it comes to this matchup, Oscar was blunt. This is suicide. Tank Davis is a killer in the ring. Exhibition or not, you don't play with fire like that. Strong words from the Golden Boy himself. Even George Foreman, the legend known for his wisdom and calm takes, chimed in. He said, if Jake Paul survives, it will be because of his conditioning and courage. Tank Davis is a natural-born fighter, but courage is sometimes the equalizer. Let's see how much courage Jake Paul has. Now let's talk about what this fight actually means for boxing. On one hand, purists hate it. They say exhibitions like this cheapen the sport, that it's all about money and clout instead of legacy and real competition. On the other hand, these fights bring millions of new fans to the sport. People who never would have paid attention are suddenly tuning in. And some of those fans stick around, watching the real champions, the real title fights. For Jake Paul, this is his chance to silence critics. If he goes out there and actually competes with Tank, even if he doesn't win, it changes the narrative. Suddenly, he's not just the YouTuber who boxed MMA retirees. Suddenly, he's the guy who stood in with Gervonta Davis and didn't fold. That's powerful for his brand. For Tank Davis, this is low risk, high reward. He gets the exposure, he gets the bag, and he gets to remind everyone why he's one of the most feared fighters alive. Even in an exhibition, if Tank knocks Jake out cold, it's going to go viral instantly. It reinforces his reputation as a destroyer. But let's not sugarcoat it. There's danger here. Exhibitions don't erase the reality of fists flying. Remember when Floyd fought Tenshin Nasukawa in Japan? It was supposed to be a light exhibition, but Floyd dropped him 3 times in 1 round. That's what happens when a world-class fighter faces someone outside his league. Tank Davis could easily do the same to Jake. And yet, Jake thrives on risk. He thrives on people doubting him. Every time people say he's going to get destroyed, he uses it to fuel the hype. And you have to admit, win, lose, or draw, Jake Paul has already won in the sense that he's created one of the most talked about events of the year. So what can we expect on fight night? Well, picture the scene. The Kaseya Center in Miami is packed to the rafters. Celebrities everywhere. Cameras flashing. The atmosphere electric. Jake Paul walks out with all the swagger, all the theatrics, maybe even some rapper performing his entrance. Then Tank Davis comes out, calm, cold, deadly. No frills, no games, just pure menace. The bell rings. The crowd roars. Jake tries to use his size, his jab, keeping distance. Tank stalks, slips, closes the gap. The first time Tank lands a clean shot, the arena might explode. Whether Jake can take it or not, that's the million-dollar question. Some fans think Jake will survive by moving, clinching, and making it ugly. Others think Tank will catch him early and put him down. Either way, people will be talking about this fight long after it's over. And here's the kicker, whether you think it's a joke, whether you think it's brilliant, whether you think Jake Paul belongs in the ring with Tank Davis or not, this fight proves one thing: boxing has changed. The lines between entertainment and sport have blurred. And in that chaos, we're seeing some of the biggest, craziest events of our time. So what do you think? Can Jake Paul shock the world and hang with Tank Davis? Or is this going to be a brutal reminder of the difference between an influencer and a true champion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I want to hear what you guys think about this fight. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, because we're going to be covering this fight every step of the way, from the build up to the aftermath. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more boxing news, drama, and the fights that make history.